There's a kind of manipulation that doesn't sound manipulative at all. It sounds kind, careful, even wounded. Most people think covert narcissists are the safest kind. The quiet ones, the ones who seem gentle or vulnerable or even self-aware. The truth is, they're the most dangerous because what feels like empathy is actually strategy. They study your emotions, mirror your pain, and use it to make you feel responsible for theirs. And by the time you realize what's happening, you're already stuck, guilty, confused, and afraid to pull away because you don't want to hurt them. And that's the trap. You're trying to save the person who's quietly destroying you. I've spent the last 20 years studying self-worth and narcissistic relationships, and I teach people how to recognize manipulation the moment it starts. In this video, I'll show you how covert narcissists use ordinary conversations to make you feel responsible for their pain and how to take your power back when they do. The first thing to listen for is going to be confusing because they'll seem like a regular, everyday good person. They'll seem soft-spoken. They'll seem shy, maybe a bit vulnerable. They'll smile and be friendly, but make no mistake, they are hunting for targets. So the quickest way that will differentiate them will be the way they present their story, the hook that they're using, and how you feel once that hook is in place. So in general, narcissists are always searching for what they can get from you, your time, your attention, and your energy. Covert narcissists want those same things, but they go after them differently. They want your attention in a way that reinforces their image of noble suffering. The idea that they're good, kind people who keep getting hurt because they care too much. They live inside a kind of martyred heroism, where they think they're always doing the right thing, always forgiving, always trying, while the world just keeps letting them down. So here's what to listen for. It usually follows the same three-part pattern no matter how it's phrased. First, they establish themselves as a good person. Kind, loyal, forgiving, hardworking. You'll hear things like, I just care too much, or I always try to do the right thing. And it sets the stage of, I'm decent, I'm safe, and you can trust me. Then they'll add in unfairness. The story turns towards how life or someone hasn't treated them right. You'll hear, I gave up everything to that relationship, or no matter how hard I try, it never works out. That's the suffering part, the injustice that makes you lean in and care. And then finally, they'll end with strengths. They'll say something like, but I've learned to rise above it, or I just keep forgiving, it's who I am. That's what makes it noble. They appear strong, kind, and humble all at once. So put this together and the pattern sounds like this. I'm good, life is unfair, but I keep being good anyway. That's the noble suffering. It's not loud or obvious, it's soft, sympathetic, and it makes you want to comfort them, admire them, or help them. If you're listening to this and you're realizing that you've heard something like this before, I put together a quick narcissist protection checklist to help you assess the level of risk you're dealing with. It's in the link in the description. This noble suffering story hooks you because you're human and because you're not a psychopath. And most people respond to this noble suffering tactic with genuine empathy. When someone sounds kind, humble, and wounded, you're wired to care. And narcissists know this and they count on that. They know most people will want to comfort, encourage, or reassure someone who seems that gentle and good. And that's exactly the time, attention, and energy they're trying to extract. And once you see that pattern, here's what's actually happening underneath it. They build their identity around this three-part story. I'm good, life is unfair, but I'm still good. It sounds humble, but it's a lie. They are not good. They are predators disguised to get you to drop your guard. Life hasn't been unfair. It's been extremely fair. They've gotten exactly what they've earned. The world has reflected back the truth of who they are and the damage they've done. They want you to feel sorry for them. They are manufacturing pain in you on purpose because that pain gets them what they want. They know that when you feel bad, you'll move to fix it. You'll comfort, help, or give just to make that feeling stop. And that's why they do it. The pain in you is useful to them. They are willing to watch you suffer, and in many cases, they want you to, because your suffering is what gets them what they want. The next thing to listen for is someone who sounds almost saccharine, yet disappointed. It's soft, measured, and laced with disapproval. It might come after the subtlest no, saying something like, "Oh, I just thought we were on the same page," right after you've shared an opinion that doesn't match theirs. Or it might come during the request itself, a request framed in a way that makes saying no feel selfish or unkind, like, "It'll really hurt my feelings if you don't come." Either way, the message is clear. Compliance is kindness and resistance is cruel. So here's the formula for this one. First, they establish that they're the reasonable one, calm, fair, and good. You'll hear things like, "I'm only asking because I thought you'd understand." Then they introduce guilt. The message shifts. Your independence or hesitation is now the problem. You might hear, "I didn't think you'd be that kind of person," or "I guess I misjudged you." That's where doing what's right for you starts to feel like cruelty towards them. It's not just guilt at that point, it's weaponized shame. They're not challenging what you did, they're rewriting who you are. And finally, they end with moral pressure. They imply that a reasonable person would agree, help, or make it right. So put this together and the pattern sounds like this. I'm reasonable, you're not, your selfishness is hurting me, fix it. Their guilt tactics hook you because they threaten your sense of who you are by weaponizing your own shame. When someone implies that you're selfish or unkind, it clashes with your own self-concept, the identity that you've built as a caring, fair, and reasonable person. That dissonance feels awful and it's destabilizing, and so you're going to want to correct it fast. And covert narcissists know that, and that's why this is so dangerous. They build their identity around a false moral hierarchy where they are the reasonable one and you're not, and you're selfish for hurting me. But they're lying. They aren't reasonable. They're unreasonably expecting you to serve their needs at your expense. You're not the selfish one. They are. They are predators and they're willing to use you to get what they want. So instead of telling you about what to do next, let me show you how I deal with it. When someone twists things to make me feel selfish for saying no, I use the tools that I built into my unmanipulatable 5-day training. Say I want to understand what's really happening with a person who keeps guilting me. I drop the situation into the defense coach and it breaks it down instantly. It shows that the guilt isn't accidental, it's deliberate. It's how they pull me back in, protect their image, and keep control of the story. But let's just say that the guilt tactics are really working on me. So I ask, how do I stop feeling like a bad person? And here's what it says. You're not a bad person. You've been conditioned by someone who uses guilt as a tool. And then it breaks down the pattern, what they want, what I'm trying to avoid, and what keeps me stuck. And then it gives one clear next move. Let your silence speak louder than your guilt. And lastly, I ask, well, what do I say though? Because sometimes you just need the words. And here's what it gives me. I'm not engaging in guilt-driven conversations. I've said what I needed to say. Simple, calm, final. If you'd like this tool, it's inside my unmanipulatable training. You can grab the Narcissist Protection Checklist, link below, and I'll send you a private offer to access it. The last thing to listen for is the dependency hook. The moment someone makes their survival, stability, or happiness your responsibility. So here's the formula for this one. First, they establish helplessness. They position themselves as incapable, lost, or falling apart, someone who just can't manage on their own. You'll hear things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you," or "Everything's falling apart right now." This is intended to make you feel instantly protective, like you can't possibly walk away from them. Then they hand you responsibility. They shift from helplessness to direction. You're the one who can make it better. You'll hear, "You're the only one I can rely on," or "You always know how to fix things." And that's the moment that they transfer the weight. Emotional, physical, financial, whatever it is, it's now yours to carry. And finally, they close with moral pressure. They frame helping as the proof of your love or loyalty. You'll hear, "If you cared, you'd help," or "I thought I could count on you." And that's the hook, where your compassion becomes compliance. Put this together and the pattern sounds like this. I'm helpless. You are my solution. You should fix it for me. And unlike the first two patterns, this one isn't exactly a lie. It's actually true. They are helpless, but not because life is hard or because they're fragile. They're helpless without supply. They do see you as the solution because they can't regulate themselves without control or attention. And they do believe you should fix it because in their mind, that's what you're for. And this is where their parasitic nature finally shows itself. They don't just depend on you, they feed on you. You become their stability, their provider, their sense of self. And every time you step in to help them, you're not rescuing them, you're sustaining the very disorder that will destroy you. They don't get better when you save them, they get stronger at using you. So instead of worrying about saving them, you need to save yourself. When this pattern shows up, believe them. They're telling you exactly who they are, and it's time to listen. Thanks for watching. YouTube thinks you're going to like this video on screen right here. Yeah, that's the one. Click it and learn even more about spotting narcissists and protecting yourself against manipulation. I'll see you over there. Okay, bye.